Hey YouTube family, it's Sarah, Less of Sarah, coming to you with a late video on Tuesday. The lighting is a little bit weird, so I apologize, but it's actually getting a little overcast and dark outside, and it is evening, so the light's a little different. But today I'm coming to you with a Tough Love Tuesday video. I know it's been a couple weeks since we've had Tough Love Tuesday, but I thought, why not? There was something that was on my mind and I wanted to share it with you guys. The title of this video is, Are You Being Selfish? And if the answer is yes, then congratulations, you're doing it right. And if the answer is no, then what are you waiting for? That may sound a little weird, because I think most people think being selfish has a negative connotation. But I'm here to talk about the positive connotation of being selfish. I'm talking about making sure that you are a priority in your own life, about the idea that you can't take care of others unless you take care of yourself first. As RuPaul would say, if you can't love yourself, how the hell are you going to love somebody else? Amen. So that's what I wanted to talk about today, and I've seen a lot of examples of this on YouTube, of people who I can tell don't feel like they should or can put themselves first or take care of themselves, and I think that that can cause issues and stumbling blocks in your journey, because after all, this is an intensely personal journey. As much as other people's support and love and compassion can be helpful, it really is you against your mind and your body, and that takes a lot of effort and a lot of time and concentration and energy, and you need to have that to be able to go through this journey and not feel overwhelmed. I know that as overweight people, especially as overweight women, there are a lot of us who suffer from feelings of not being worthy of certain things, of spending time on ourselves, of spending money on ourselves, of doing anything for ourselves. And many of us are what I would call extreme givers, where we're super focused on making other people happy and doing things for other people, but not ourselves. And I mean, part of that is, I think, a feminine quality. As a mother, I know that's definitely something that happens once you have kids, is you tend to give all of yourself to your family, and sometimes at the expense of, you know, your own sanity or your own health. But I think that as overweight women, we really tend to do that because of self-esteem issues and that sort of thing. And so we wanted to put this video out there as a reminder that it's super important for you to take time for yourself and to allow yourself to care for you and not just always put everyone else before your needs. I'm not saying that you should put yourself before everyone else, but I am saying that you need to be part of that equation, and you can't always put yourself last, or this journey will be much more difficult. How you make time for yourself, how that selfishness comes out, you know, can be different. And making time for yourself is only part of the equation of being selfish, but that's one thing that I wanted to talk about. So I really think that everybody, and this is sort of not necessarily weight loss journey related, but everyone needs to make time for themselves, to do something that helps them to clear their mind, to concentrate, to reflect, and that could be just about anything. It could be a long hot bath, it could be a good book and a glass of wine, it could be a hard workout, it could be, for me it's karaoke, which I know sounds really weird, and I've talked about karaoke therapy before, but I usually go to karaoke once a week, sometimes even twice, and karaoke for me is a release. It's a way of releasing the tension of that week, whether it's work tension between my husband and I, my kids, my family, my friends, whatever it is. It's a place where I feel like I can go and let loose and be myself and get all of that out, and it really does so much for my spirit. And I think we all need to find that something that renews our spirit, that gives us energy to move forward with our lives and with this journey. And so I definitely encourage everybody to find that thing for you that gives you peace, that makes you happy, that allows you to reflect. I mean, meditation is another thing that a lot of people like to do, just quiet time to yourself. And I know how hard it can be to do that, especially when you have a household and a family, children to take care of. But it's super important that you give yourself that little bit of time every day, even if it's 15 minutes, 20 minutes, half an hour, something where you can gather your thoughts, you can reflect, you can plan, you can do all those things that are important for your mental health, because that is such an important aspect of the journey. And that's a timely thing for me to talk about right now, obviously, because I've talked about having issues recently with depression and that sort of thing. And I've really felt like I needed to take more time for myself to get through that and to work through it and not allow it to take over my journey and my goals when it comes to weight loss. Another reason why being selfish can be important on this journey has to do with other people. Nerd in Oregon, Sarah, made a video, I think last week, talking about having to cut ties with friends who were unsupportive of her journey. Or maybe not even just unsupportive of her, but unsupportive of the idea of weight loss surgery and that sort of thing. And I know that that was something that was really difficult for her to deal with. And one of the things that I had said to her was that she didn't need those people as part of her journey. And as painful as it was to let go of them as friends, people who really care for you, want the best for you, and want you to improve your life. And I know part of her video she talked about not allowing people to hold her back, that she had a goal. Her ship was sailing and she was not going to tether it and or sail close to shore to make other people happy. And I thought that was a great sort of metaphor. And I absolutely agree with her. I think that sometimes other people, and they may be well-meaning, but family, friends, they try and bring you down. You know, they might say, well, why are you spending all this money on yourself? Why are you spending all this time watching YouTube videos? Why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? Questioning you. And, you know, personality-wise, like for me, I just don't care. People can question all they want. I've never felt like I need to justify the decisions that I make or how I live my life to anyone. And so for me, it's not something that bothers me, but I know that there are a lot of people out there for whom those things are sensitive topics and sensitive subjects, and it starts their mind going into the, am I spending too much time, you know, doing this for myself? No, you aren't. This is probably the single most important thing that you will ever do for yourself, for the people you love, for your family, for your friends. So yeah, you need to do whatever it takes. And if that means it takes giving yourself an hour every day of quiet time, even if you have to lock yourself in the bathroom, that's what it takes. And hopefully you have an understanding partner, understanding family that will get that this is part of the journey. That working on yourself, concentrating on yourself is part of how you're going to get to that ultimate goal. And the more time that you can spend with yourself, reflecting and making your own self better, the better it is for them, because the easier it is for you to care for them, and the stronger you can be for them. And so I know that there are a lot of people who struggle with issues with family, with their spouses, with people not understanding this journey. And, you know, there's part of me that says, just explain it to them. And there's also a part of me that says, hey, you know what? F them, because this is something that is really about you. And you need to remember that while you don't necessarily need to always put yourself first, you need to put yourself on the list. You cannot be at the bottom all the time. It doesn't mean that you always have to be concentrating on yourself and that you can't do anything for anyone. There is a great book, and the name of the author escapes me. I know I've talked about it in a video a long time ago. It's called The Extreme Art of Self-Care, and it's exactly about this topic. And I will try and put the author's name and link in the video below. I may not be able to do it tonight, but I'll try and update it at some point with that info. But you can find it on Amazon. You can download it as an ebook. And it talks about that. It's about making time to care for yourself so that you can be better at caring for others. Because I know that for most of us, that's something that is really important. I think it can feel selfish, especially dealing with toxic people in your life. It can feel selfish. Like, that you are spending time or spending money on yourself, which is another thing, buying new clothes or spending money on getting your hair done or your nails done or whatever it is that makes you feel good. And you'll have people question that too. I know that can be really, really tough to deal with. And the only thing that I can say about that is that there's a couple things that I sort of live by, I guess. And for me, there's a Maya Angelou quote, and I'm paraphrasing because I don't know it exactly, but it goes something like, when someone shows you who they really are, believe them. And I know there's so many of us who want to give people chances and want to make excuses for them, but in the end, if your friends, your family can't support you on this journey, if they're not with you, then they're against you. And that's something that you need to deal with. And I would never, go so far as to tell someone how to deal with that situation, but I will say that you need to be aware and have your eyes open to the fact that when someone is showing you the real them, you need to believe them the first time. Another thing has to do with how people treat you. And something that I really firmly believe is that we personally teach people how to treat us by our reactions, if that makes sense. So there is an element of personal responsibility in how you allow other people to treat you. You can't really be a victim unless you allow someone to victimize you. And I'm not talking about like a victim of crime or something like that, but I'm talking about an emotional victim. You can't really be a victim unless you allow someone to victimize you. And that sounds harsh and it sounds really strong, because it's easier said than done. Words hurt and things that people do hurt. But the way that you're treated is the way that you allow people to treat you. As an example, if someone is rude and disrespectful to you and you just laugh it off, that person then thinks, okay, no problem. I can treat Sarah with disrespect because she's just going to laugh it off. If the first time someone treats you rudely with disrespect, you come back at them hard, I'm not saying you like punch them in the face or whatever, but I'm saying you tell them straight up, I'm sorry, don't speak to me that way. They understand and they learn. I can't speak to Sarah like that because she's not going to take it. And that is something that I do. I train people on what I will accept and what I will not accept. Because I care enough about me to know that there are certain things that are just no-goes for me. And on this journey, I think that's something that's also very important. If you are not happy with the way people are treating you with regards to your surgery, then you make sure you let them know. You tell them, I'm sorry, this is a topic that I don't want to speak with you about, and I will not speak about, and I don't want your opinion, but thanks very much. Or, this is something that is just unacceptable, and so let's move on to a different topic. It is important to stand up for yourself, and again, it's something that can come off as being self-centered, being selfish. It doesn't matter what people think. And I know that we're all trained to be, really concerned about what everyone thinks, about what your family thinks, your friends think, the people on the street think. Who gives an F what they think? Because in the end, you are the one who is impacted by this journey. This is your journey. It's about you. You are doing it for yourself, and by extension, you are doing it for the people that you love. And the people that you don't care about, the people on the street, I mean, really, who really cares about what they think? So we need to release that whole thing about being so concerned with what other people think and worry about what you think. Worry about whether you are living up to your own expectations, rather than whether you're living up to other people's expectations. So yeah, the moral of this particular Tough Love Tuesday is you do need to be a little selfish. It's okay. It's okay to be selfish. It's okay to worry about yourself. It's okay to take time for yourself. It's okay to spend money on yourself. It's okay for you to want to kick this journey's ass and to understand that that's going to take your energy, your dedication, and your commitment, and that people don't like it. TFB, as they say. So, till then, I will see you guys on Friday. Love you, bye!